Hello, Ronan. Hello, Leon. It's me, your Zayde, Mason, and
Kermit the Frog. Ah,
so I wanted to continue on with the ABCs of mathematics, and Kermit here and
we want to continue on from where we left off. When last we spoke, our intrepid readers talked about D. D is for division.
and we talked about division. But now, today,
E,
we will begin with E.
E is for equation, and that is an equation.
That's right. 1 plus 2 equals 3. So an equation is a mathematical statement that one thing is equal to another.
So, equations are used with the equation symbol.
That is the equation symbol.
This means equals.
So it means that the left side, the 3, equals the right side, 1 plus 2. Or, for example, 3 plus 3 equals 6, or 6 plus 6 equals 12. Like if you have 6 eggs on one side and 6 on another, that gives you a dozen eggs.
So the numbers on the left are equal to the numbers on the right.
That's right. So that is an equation. All right.
Let's move on to F. F is for focus.
So focus, we talked about, Leon, previously in optical physics. And this is where we talk about what the focal point is in a focal plane. And the focus is the point where the reflected lines meet when they bounce off of a reflected surface.
A magnifying lens has a focus for light passing through it.
Changing the geometry of the shape of the lens where the focus is changes where the focus is. So a focus is also used to change the power of the magnifying mirrors.
You can use this for solar power. You can use this to increase the size of text when you're looking through a magnifying glass.
And there's all sorts of other uses for it. But generally speaking, we covered this in optical physics, and you can see that video another time.
You should go back and watch it again, this time with Ronan.
Okay, let's move on, shall we? All right, we're going to continue on, and we're going to, this is a good one. We're going to come to G.
G is for golden ratio.
All right, now, the golden ratio is a number that's approximately equal to 1.618. Now, actually, it's a ratio, not just a number. And the actual number that everything trends towards is a non-repeating decimal.
The golden ratio appears often in mathematics, nature, and even art.
The golden ratio is given as the symbol phi.
Phi is a Greek letter.
And the length of the sides of each square here, as shown, as used in art often, get smaller by a ratio of phi as they go down.
Or, subsequently, the size of a shell, it looks a little bit like a snail. Each different part of a shell, as a snail gets bigger and bigger, is 1.618 bigger than the previous.
And we find this out when they studied a long time ago. Fibonacci was the name of the scientist or mathematician who was trying to look at the ratio of rabbit populations. And he found 0 plus 1 rabbit equals 1 rabbit, but 1 rabbit plus 1 equals 2.
1 rabbit plus 1 equals 2.
So we can use equations there. 2 rabbits plus 1 equals 3. 3 rabbits plus 2 equals 4. 3 rabbits plus 2 equals 5. 5 rabbits plus 3 equals 8. 8 rabbits plus 5. And so you take the previous number that was the highest number that you added, and you add that to the final answer. And as they get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, they trend towards
the golden ratio.
And where do we find the golden ratio, Kermit?
We find it all over the place. We find it in fractals,
which we need to talk about someday. So we will eventually talk about fractals and chaos theory, but we'll get to that later.
It works out that the best size for a door is also the golden ratio, or most interesting to humans.
and pieces of paper and shells, and
the way that leaves grow when they grow out of a stalk on a plant comes out in the golden ratio.
So it's everywhere. You find the golden ratio everywhere. And who was the artist that used it for the Vitruvian Man?
That would be Galileo.
So see, there's all kinds of uses for it. And then finally,
H is for hypotenuse.
see that red line there?
A hypotenuse is the longest side of a right triangle.
So the right triangle has one 90-degree angle. See that little square there? That represents 90 degrees. And the side of the triangle opposite the angle is called
the hypotenuse.
Anyway, that takes us from E, F, G, and H. And I love you both very much. This is the ABCs of Mathematics. And this is Kermit and your Zayde Mason signing out.
We love you very much.
Bye for now, boys.